going over the schedule and classes, online tickets, and dropship apparel. So let's get started. This right here is the, let me get this, yep, is my test racetrack that I have here in MyRacePass. You can, you'll be viewing something very similar. And we'll get started here. It's going to match up to all these different buttons that we have over on the side. Also, another note here, if you stay to the end, I will be putting in a link to a survey. If you fill out that survey, you are entered into a drawing automatically to get $200 off for your 2020 subscription to MyRacePass. So stay till the end. All right, let's get that going here. So let's get started adding in our, we're going to go a little out of order. I'm going to do schedule and classes as opposed to online registration. We're gonna break all the rules today, huh? So let's go right ahead here. This is the schedule that I have built out for my track, the Your Favorite Track. So you can see all of the upcoming events. You can see recent events, and I'll show you how we'll get started with that. And we also can see that I have pending yearly registration. So that's some things that we'll have here in the future. So let's get rocking and rolling. The first time that you do this, so if you already have a MyRacePass account, this looks a little new to you, you actually can go click up here. It might have your 2018 season. You can create a new season for 2019, and all the events and schedules and things are going to be applied to that instead. So make sure we do that. Get that applied here. I already have a 2019 season, so I'm good to go. And then it's going to have you go to a page that looks very similar to this. It's going to have kind of a checklist sort of operation. So when we're in with a track, you can see our track right here. You can see all of the series that are going to be racing with us. And if we wanted to add more of those, we could. So we can actually search up here to all series, and we can search for them. We also can look for ones that we've done in the past. So if you've used MyRacePass in the past, you have a series that is going to be racing with you again, you can do that. And you're also going to see that every series in MyRacePass has a class associated with it. So in this case, I actually have Your Favorite Series, which is a sport compact class. If I was to go up to here, I also have a series right over here. Your Favorite Series. So I actually can show you how it works on the other side as well. So if we have this side, on the configuration side, we can see that we have our class here. I'm going to show you how this links up. So that's the introduction to Your Favorite Series. And so we're going to add in all of our series, and then for tracks, we're going to add in all of our classes. So when I add classes, it has a list of all of my classes that I've done in the past. Right here, that's my sanction or my series classes, season classes rather. That's for 2018. I also have specific sanction classes. So if you are a USRA track, we do have that option with SOTA, IMCA. You can find all of those in there. If I wanted to do that, so let's say I wanted to add a USRA limited modified, I can. So we can just do that. USRA limited modifieds. Added in just that quick. We're also going to make sure it'll ask me too when I add in a series, but when I add in that series, we're going to make sure we add in that class because that's what's going to help us with that link here. For series, if you're a series, what you're going to be doing instead is putting in all of the tracks that you're going to be racing at. So your class will already be set. Your series is already set, but you're going to be adding different tracks here. So you can see that I'm going to be racing at these two wonderful facilities, Your Favorite Track and Rainbow Road. And I could add more here too. And it's going to be a similar sort of add process where it's just going to pop up and ask me which ones I've raced before, or I can take a look and search for a specific track if I wanted to. This is all live data, so I'm not going to add another track. I don't want to I don't want to confuse anybody with the dates that I create here. But just know that if you are a series, it's going to work the same way. You could enter in characters here, and you'll be good to go. We had some new people hop in. That's great. Just know that if you stay till the end, there'll be a special link there where you can put in a survey so we can know how we can improve. That'll help us out tremendously and enter you into a drawing to get $200 off next year's subscription. Also, if you do have any questions, hit Alt and H, and that'll bring up the chat window. You can ask any questions here, either in the group or to me directly. So you can ask that one there. So I also have muted everybody, but the chat should take care of all of that for you. So we're gonna go right in here. We have all of this is created. We're gonna go to events. We'll get to registrations here in just a bit. You can do this in any order, but I'm just gonna do events, and we're gonna see our schedules here. Schedules in MyRacePass are where points are applied to. And what I mean by that is, so I have here, this is a special schedule that I have just for events in January. And if I wanted to just compile a list of only events in January or a speed week, anything like that, I can create a separate schedule to apply points to at the end of the night. This one is my yearly schedule, and this contains all the events throughout the year. And if I wanted to create something or create an event, let's do that. So if I wanted an event here for next Monday, all of these grayed out ones are ones I've already added in. But let's add an event for next Monday, the 18th. It's going to pop up here, and it's going to ask what classes we're going to be racing. So let's do the Sport Compact class, and let's do my 305s and 410s. I can add in the name of my event. I can put in additional information when things open and close. If I made a mistake, let's say I did here. Let's say I made a mistake and I didn't want 318 at all. That's actually the wrong date. That's okay. We can just discard it. No harm, no foul. We can go back and add in more events. Let me reload that here. I think I moved a little quick. There we go. We'll go right here. Let's say we wanted the 18th, 19th, and 20th instead. My mistake. Happens all the time. So we'll go here. We'll add in what classes we're going to be racing. And when we hit add and next, it's going to move to the next one. So what's our next races? It's going to keep track of what we did. We can go with Tuesday show. Say that here. We can put in when the pits open. 5:38. Very great time. Let's do 5:30 instead. Gates open. 5:50, and then add next, and it's going to keep that for us here. So we can keep all of that, but we can still add different information here. Let's add all three, and when we go down here to March, you'll see all of our events are added in here. My test racetrack is a little busy throughout the year, so you can see all this information. Let's pick one of these events and kind of dive deep on some of the other things that we're able to do here. So we can adjust any of this information here, add any more details if we wanted to. If we wanted to, we can add in that series. So your favorite series is actually going to be racing there. That's what they're all about here today. They're going to be able to go in, and I'll show you in just a second. When they add their events there, they're going to be able to match that up. So we're going to see how that matching works and on either side. We also can see the schedule. We can adjust that, and we also can copy this event. So if I like the way that this event has worked, I can actually just copy it to several different dates here as kind of a nifty shortcut. The last thing here, as the running is scheduled, as much as we hate it, it does happen. There are rainouts, postponements, things like that. We're able to just mark that here, and that'll adjust our schedule. So I'm going to pop it back here for this side. We're going to go into our events for our series, and we're going to rock and roll on here. So when I add events, I'm going to pick my track that I'm going to be racing at. So we're going to race at your favorite track. It's going to have all the lists here of dates. So let's do 18th, 19th, 20th, and I'm also going to do the 21st. We're going to add it in. We're just going to add that Sport Compact date here because that's the series. It's not going to let me set open and close times here because the track's kind of taking care of that. So I'm just going to add them in. It's going to tell me, what's all left, and that's added in. So it's going to share this information across on both. And you can see it already is the entries and things. So when I race there, I only have to put this in one time. So either the series, we can do it ourselves, or the track can do it, but it's going to share all that over. And then if the track does it with me and my series, I'm able to just log in and apply the points after it's done. So it can save me quite a lot of time since I don't have to double up on anything. We go back to here. We'll go to view events, and then since we've marked them both here, it's actually just gonna adjust that for me. So a lot of this is kind of done automatically without me having to have done anything here. Since I added that Thursday show, it's should ask me about it. You ever see this up at the top? So if series can add them, you can accept it or deny it as needed up at the top if it ever says that there's an event there. So I went over quite a bit there, but if you do have any questions, Alt and H, the place to do that, best place for it. I'll be happy to answer any questions, not just about anything we're doing here, but anything else you have a question about. We'll be moving right along here. I'm going to kind of move out of the series side of things. From here on out, it's going to be things that are kind of the same from both. So I don't need to double up here. But again, Alt and H, I am looking at that chat window here. Feel free to do that. We'll get you rolling. So, got to go right up here to registrations. So when I started the year, I created a yearly registration. Tracks and series can only have one of these. This is going to be your master list of registrations throughout the year. So you actually can share this online via your Facebook or Twitter page. You can actually see it right here. This form is my online registration form. I can link this up to PayPal if I'd like, collect any payment on these, and I can get people registered online today even. So if I wanted to, I could, let's do it. Let's go through this whole process here. So let's say I have a driver. His name is, I have a bunch of them. Let's do check ground. So when a driver fills this out, he's going to have all of our information. It's going to be put here. So let's put in some city and state. He's got a birthday. That's a great birthday. Put in his jacket. Owner information. If he does have an owner, it'll actually adjust that for me. So if I put in my information, Google Auto Forms kind of doing a lot of this for me. I can say that the owner's getting paid here. We can put in a transponder number for him by default, so we can keep that. And we can enter him in here. So let's enter in some car numbers. Okay. If I had payment here, I don't. I'm not asking for any payments on these, so we're just going to continue on through. He could pay for them. We're just going to move right along here. Can put in any other rules or terms and conditions. You can see mine are the lyrics to La Bamba. We'll process that. So that's kind of what it would look like on the driver's end. So you can kind of have a good idea of that. It's emailed me for all of the registrations that he just completed here. And when I go click on him, so if I click on any of these, we're going to see that we have Chuck Brown Jr. right here. We'll actually also have an invoice here. So if I do link it up to PayPal, I can match that up. And we can confirm him. So what we're going to be doing here, we can see a couple things about him. So we can see that we're looking for Chuck Brown Jr., so we're going to match him up. He does have an owner, so we're going to put him an owner in there for him. And it looks like that's going to be me. So we'll add an owner. And in this case, team and owner can be used interchangeably. So I'm going to be the team in this case. We'll add a car in there because he's going to be racing. We can see his numbers here. So let's give him the 12. He's That's what he's registered for. So this will actually carry over into the race management. All of this that I'm doing here will carry over for me. I will give him the assigned number of 12. I can have any duplicate if I want to. If he was duplicated, we're just going to add him. And so now he's confirmed. So we can see that he has a team. We can see his class here. So if I go into events and just pick on any particular event, we'll go to the 305s and we'll find Chuck here. So we'll go into race management. Misclicked there. So we'll find our guy Chuck, the number 12. So we can see that he has completed our online registration. It's going to be right here. If you have, if you're a sanctioned class, so if you have US RO with SOTA, anything like that, it'll also say if he has a license, if this is a sanctioned race. This isn't, so it's not going to be looking for that. But you can actually see right here, we have that, and also put his address information on file here. A lot of people don't talk about the 100,000th Street in Lincoln, but it is beautiful. I joke around a lot. If you don't like my jokes, you can tell me about it by hitting Alt and H in the chat window. You can also tell me if you like my transitions. If those are really good, make you laugh, or ask any questions. That's kind of the main thing. But let you know, tell me how I'm doing too if you want. I don't mind. So you can hit that Alt and H button, bring up the chat. Also, a reminder: we're going to be having that survey. Fill that out. I'll be going over the survey more in just a minute. So where were we? We were in registrations. So we can also create those for the year. His information goes into the contact list right here. So you can see all of my drivers here. The ones that have registered online, I have right here in my information here. So we can see Chuck Ground, Obo, Minnesota. We have his primary address information in here as that 1 millionth Street in Lincoln. We can adjust that if we need to. If he moved next year and I confirm him, it'll adjust that information for me. And this is going to be unique to your track. So your track's going to have the record of this, all your drivers. And then I can also export it into a nice Excel, say if I wanted to create a mailing list for a banquet, something like that. So that is an option that you have available. We're also able to switch in between our different classes up here. And it's going to notify you a couple different places when your drivers register right here and when it wants you to confirm those. We're also able to export these registrations here as well. So if I just wanted to just get all of my rookies, I could. I could just do those, or I could create a filter of specific people. And we're able to do that right here fairly easily. We also can add one manually if we want to. So if I was wanting to register Chaz Chicken Senior, excuse me, in there we can. It's going to pull up all of his information here. This is actually from the contact list, so it's going to try to save some time for me while I do that. And I can put this information in here for him as well. I wouldn't recommend doing this for every single competitor that you have because that can take some time. And having the drivers fill that out will probably be much, much faster and easier on you. But I am giving you, you do have this option that you can do that up there at the top. So it's something you can do. We have more than one option too when it comes to registrations. So I showed you the yearly registration. The yearly registration is going to have your drivers in there, and they're going to be in your driver list and in the contact list for you too. But we can also do it so that we have a single event registration. So let's say we have a big show. I know that I'm just going to have a ton of people from out of town. And if I put all those people into my driver list and into my entry list, it's just going to be swelled and it's going to be big, a little too big. But I still want to get the registration. I still want to get that information. We can make a single event registration. And when I do that, click here. It's going to ask me about it, and it's going to want to find that date. So let's say 3/18, that event here at your favorite track. That's what we want to do. It's going to be the hidden show, and we can put in the entry fee. Again, make sure you talk to us before you do that. We'll link up a PayPal account. It comes a part of it with your plan to link up a PayPal for registration, but let us know when you're doing that. We also can put in a late fee, open and close date, and we can add that in there. And then drivers are going to be able to register online for this special event. You can see that it's going to be pulling based on my classes that I have here. And when I set this active, it'll be good to go. Drivers can find it. I can share this via my social media. I can copy this link, post it everywhere, make everyone of it know that this is going to happen, and it'll be good to go. I'm going to keep it hidden right now, kind of matches the title, but that is an option that is available for you. The last registration that we have here, when we add a registration, is a general registration. You can do a couple of different things with it. I've seen tracks and series do a lot of interesting things with these kinds of registrations throughout the year. So you could, if you wanted to, collect anything for a non-racing event. So if you wanted to, I've seen people sell pit stalls through here, just a one-time use if you just have a general lot. I've seen banquets be done through here. A lot of different things you can do. So if you have an option, if you have any questions about what you can and can't do with that, let me know. We'll get you there. We'll answer any questions that you have. If you have any questions about that right now, Alt and H is the place to do that. You can also, you don't have to message everyone. If you'd like to keep that just between the two of us, you can message me direct. It's going to be in this 2 right here. You're going to be able to talk to me directly. And then it'll be, I will be the one person that will see that. I can answer it in kind of an anonymous fashion. I assure you, if you have a question, someone else also has a question. It's just a fun little quirk right that. So we're going to move right along, onward and upwards. So from here, I'm going to take some time and discuss some of these other ones right here, because this might be a little bit different from what you guys are used to here in the season management. This is the point standings. So you can see based on my last event, which was the 8th, how everyone is doing. So you can see that Chuck Ground is tied right now. We also can click on Chuck individually and see the breakdown here. So this is going to be a quick at-a-glance breakdown. We do have your reports right here, if you are used to that. I know some of you might be used to the points by date report, which kind of lays it all out here. This kind of replaced that previous view where you clicked it and it'll pop up. So this is going to break it down to the nth degree, what happened. So you can see that Chuck has been just slowly accumulating points here throughout. You can see how he did recently. We can see his earnings here. That's not going to share out publicly. Only us are going to be able to see that earnings. The points will share out. We also can see the owners here too. So we can see how when we're paying owners, how much they're getting paid. This is just sort of at a glance information so that we can see that. We're also able to see what events are included and what events aren't included. So these are events that are just, for whatever reason, we don't have points for them. Say this one just rained out, then it would be a non-point event because we didn't have points to it. So that's going to be kind of the thing there. We also can filter those point standings on a specific date. So if I wanted to see how they looked like a week before that race, we can. We can just filter that out and see how that last week kind of adjusted the point standings. We're also able to switch the points, the classes up here at the top to our different classes. Right up here. So that points page, really awesome. We also have a more direct one for payments. So if I want to see what I've been paying people, we can. So we can just view that and we can see all the payments that I've distributed out a few different places there. Give me one sec here. There we go. That's what that was. All right. So let's get started. Let's keep moving, rather. How do you back out points on a race? Can you explain a little bit more what you mean? I know you can delete the points by going to a specific race, deleting them or recalculating those points. So if I was to go into, let's go to last week, the 8th here. We're kind of on the topic of points. So if I didn't want these, I could recalculate them here and pick a different point scheme, or I could delete them, or I could make them not a part of that schedule. So if I did this, that'll also remove those points here as well. Is that kind of what you meant? If you do have any further additional questions, I'll get to that. We're just going to move a little bit further, but okay, awesome. That's good to know. So online tickets. Let's go back to management here. Let's pick an event more for the future. So let's start selling some tickets. Why would you want to sell tickets online? A couple different reasons. For one, it is a great way to get some extra revenue. Another reason, besides the revenue part of it, is that it is a goal for one of the things that you can do here for the rewards program. So you could theoretically sell 300 tickets. Would not be that difficult to share that out. I'll show you where to get started, get set, and everything. Do the apparel program, which I'll tell you about as well, and use MRP Live. You do all three of those things, you get $250 off for next year. Let's say you're also one of the lucky people who get the $200 off. Now you're really cooking, huh? So you can actually get it with the rewards and everything. You can drop quite a bit off of next year's thing. And if I can help you guys out with any way getting that done for you, just between us, without my bosses here, and I want to save you guys as much money as possible for your subscriptions. I want to be the last thing you guys worry about. So let's make you guys some money. Let's show you how to do this online tickets here. So when we click add tickets for each one of our events, you're going to see some things here. So let's go through all of it. We have the name here. I would pick a snappier name for me personally, than just the name and the date. If you have anything running on that night, do it. Just go for it. Draw people in. We're going to want to get as many people as possible in when they're available for. So it's going to cut it off right the day before because we're going to be doing will call tickets. We can also set a pre-sale date. So if I wanted to set a specific time, so if I wanted people to go in the first week, we're going to give them a deal. So we're going to give them a pre-sale here. I got a question in. Just know I will be answering that as soon as I get done there. So we'll be going here on that in just a bit. But I will get to that question when we get to the end of everything, if that sounds good. All right. So we have our pre-sale. I'll show you what that means here. We're also going to determine if it is a rain check or a refund if the event is canceled. So I know we don't like to think about rain and rain dates. It happens despite our best efforts. One of the things I always joke is the thing I can't help you out with is the weather. So you're kind of on your own on the weather. But do set if they're rain check or refund. We can put if they here are type. So we can change the name on here. It's going to be grouped into specific things. So if you wanted to sell them by section, let's say my track had section 101 instead. So we can sell section 101 tickets in there or keep it as adult general. Or the one I see a lot is kids 10 and up. So we can have a specific one here. We're able to set how many are available. So let's say 500. We'll do, 200 for kids. We can set a price on them. Keep in mind, these are all just, this is for a fictional racetrack, so I'm just kind of making them up or eyeballing them based on what seems right. I don't want people to actually buy my tickets because I don't have a real racetrack, and I'm going to be adding these for real. So my prices are not going to be realistic prices. I totally understand that. This pre-sale, so we can actually set the pre-sale price right here. So if they try to buy this within this first week, it's actually going to be less. So if we did $750 and $650, the value, you can do that. We also can sell pit passes here as well. So when I hit add, it's going to add that event in. It's going to be available for sale on the MyRacePass marketplace. If you have a website through MyRacePass, you can actually put that in there too. We're also able to share this on Facebook and Twitter right here too. And I highly recommend that if you're doing online tickets, share those. Make it very, very direct on that you are selling online tickets. Here's where you buy them. The more that you let people know, the more that you just kind of make them aware of that, the better it's going to be. We're able to edit in here. This is actually going to take us to our ticket page, which is right here. It's going to be right underneath race management and reports. We have that ticket option. So we can see events where we have action is required. That's going to want me to confirm something. I'll show you what I mean when we go right here to that event we just made. So we can see a couple things about this here. So we can make it inactive if we want, which I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to just disable that so no one buys it. We can edit the ticket status right here. That is that action that was required that I was asking about. So from right here, you actually can edit the status of the tickets. It'll text you a code based off of a form that we want from you, so we know where you want funds deposited. Say the event's running, and then we actually deposit the funds into your account the following Tuesday. We do that because we can take care of the refunds and things for you. If you do need help getting that form, I can get you that as well. We can get you that form out and ready to go. We also can put in ticket pictures. So if we have a poster for the event, we can put that in there as well. We can feature it, which is going to pin it more towards the top. We can see who's bought those tickets right up here, and that's going to split it up into reports here. Facebook can tweet out that link. We also have the redeem window right here. This is going to be for the tickets themselves. You can actually scan them when people come in. So pretty awesome ability that you got ready to roll right there. If you do have any questions about online tickets, be sure to let me know. Alt and H, the place to do that. Got some questions coming in privately. Be answering all of those. So go right ahead. I'm happy to answer those for y'all. We're going to continue with the scheduled program. We're going to go over Dropship Apparel. So I'm going to show you right here. We go to MyRacePass, some of the different things we can do. So Dropship Apparel. What is it? So when we go to our store page, you can see that we have this store. You can see the options here. You also have a store right here in web management. So you can actually sell apparel in MyRacePass. So you can sell that t-shirt apparel. The cool thing is we actually create them and ship them out as they're ordered. So you don't have to worry about inventory. You can actually set the prices and they sell, and you make the profit for each one that you sell. So when you just have to pay for the design cost of the initial design here. So we have a couple options when it comes to that. So you can see here's all the different styles that come with that, with the design. So you have the level 1 here. So with that level 1, you get these here. We'll actually match that with what you guys got going on. We're always adding more into these as well. So we'll match it with your logos, your colors, the car that you'll be racing. So this one says Saturday night, Thunder. So we can actually say Thursday night, Thunder, things like that. We'll be matching that up here. These are very proven to sell here. This is another goal. So if you sell 50 of these throughout the year, that's another $50 off next year's subscription, and you get the money that you get from selling the t-shirts. So really awesome. If you want to get started with that, be sure to let us know. We have that level 1 here. We have the level 2. This is a lot more freeform. So you actually just select the car that you're wanting to use. So your favorite track, big wing sprint car guys out here. We're gonna pick that pose that we like. So we're gonna kind of make this one the central thing here. What a lot of tracks I've been working with, what they seem to want to do and I highly recommend it. Go to a sponsor, tell them that you have this option available for shirts and that you want to make a sponsor specific shirt just for them, and you can do that. We'll put that logo there, very prominent for them, and they go and they get that cost covered from that sponsor. It's a win-win. Sponsors love having their stuff on that shirt. It's awesome. They go. I've seen some get a bunch for the people that they work with. And if you want to see what they look like and what the options are going to look like on the store, it'll be right here. If you have a website through MyRacePass, not only will all of the results and you can do news and everything here, we can also sell the merch right through here too. And we're gonna keep that up here. So let's see. I'm gonna just pick one here, just at random. So we got Red River Co-op. You can see they picked that car there. Go right here. See that? We can pick the different colors here. So they have a lot. If they have a specific one, so like that they don't want, you just let us know. We can make that not happen. So me, I don't like purple. Don't ask me why. I've just never have. So you could just not have purple. Or if it just matches too close with one of the colors you already have, we do that. You can see a lot of the different options that you have here. All kinds of different sizes. And again, we don't have to carry any of these sizes here for us. So you don't have to have any stock. We're actually, if I was to order this right now, it'll be sent out to me, and then they would just make the profit on the sale of that. So a lot of different options. Very cool thing that we got there. If you have any questions about that and want to get started on something like that, again, Alt&H, the place to do that. You can answer a lot of different questions about everything that we've gone through here with online tickets, with the store, with the registration. I'm also going to open it up to questions about everything else. So I'm going to kind of put it open to the questions here. Again, Alt&H is the place that we're going to be doing that. I'm going to get to some of the questions that people asked me that I wasn't able to answer immediately. So while we're thinking about those questions, I'm going to get started here. So I have one about there isn't a setting, so they have a question here about the speed entry when it comes to entries here. So what they mean by that, here this speed entry button. So that they asked if there was a way to keep that persistent in between. If I switch up here, so if I keep the speed entry on and switch, it will actually remove that speed entry. There isn't a way to keep that going right now, but I can definitely see if that's something we can work with development. If that is something we want to do, we can. We do have a team of developers here on staff. They're awesome. One of the things that I actually do is work with tracks to improve. Yep. Oh, and Josh here keeps that class open in a new tab. So good call. So we could also just have different tabs. And what I did there, so this is kind of a in between there. So I'll talk with development. But I actually just clicked, and I don't know why I lifted it up like you could see what I was doing. But I actually have a scroll wheel on this mouse, right? And I actually just clicked it with the middle right there. You also can right click it and open into a new tab. And on Google Chrome, it's going to have right up here. You can see my different tabs. And that'll actually keep the speed entry here on both. And you can do that in between there. But yes, so as I was saying, we do have an active team of developers. I actually work with a lot of tracks, learning about all the things that they need and helping out and making the system better. Ultimately, it's the feedback from you guys that's going to help us get better in the future. But no, that's a great question. If you have any other questions about entries or otherwise, be sure to let me know. Sort of the speed entry here, what that does is checks in drivers without. So to explain the speed entry, this is what it is without the speed entry. It's going to pop up their name here and their information. But if I use the speed entry, it'll just check them in for me right here. So it'll just do that really quick. If I knew their information is correct and everything. And Chuck Ground being my favorite my favorite driver here. I kind of use him a lot, so I know his information is pretty good. So again, Alt and H, the place to answer any questions about anything that we have going on here. Be keeping it open here for a little bit. So the question about order here for the lineups. So in general, the lineups are going to be in they're going to be in the order your classes are in, actually. But if I needed to separate those out, I'm going to go back here to a different race. Let me close some tabs up here. Let's go to the 8th. So I have my lineups here. So we can actually get them by a specific way if we wanted to. So I can actually break them out one per page. Because right now, by default, it's just going to group them all together. I could do that. And if I wanted a specific one, I can just go one here. Yeah, it's going to go in it, like I said, in that order. So for me, I just added the 410s first, and they ended up that way. We also can sort them here by a specific race type. We do have that option there for you too. Other things we can do, we can export them all out into PDF or print them all out. We also can make them smaller here, so we can actually, let's make it smaller here, so we can fit more in there. Question about, so you're not able at this time to sort of maneuver them into a specific spot, but you could just print them out in a specific order. So if I had all my A features here, if I just do this and print, it'll print that 360s first, and then switch it up here with the next one. Kind of break them up by that grouping there. And it is all going to go in numerical order as well. But no, great questions we got here. If you want to ask your next great question, feel free. Happy to do so. Happy to answer all of those. Again, it doesn't have to be about anything that we've done here or that I've shown you thus far. I'm just happy to answer any questions for you. I'm here for the next few minutes. I'm here for the next, let's keep it open for 10-ish minutes or so, or more. Hey, if we have more questions, I could do this all night if you want. I might have to stop and get some dinner first, but we'll do it. You can ask that. Alt and H is the place to do that. I'll be answering any questions here. And here in the next few minutes, I'll also be putting in that link to the survey. That survey that you enter in for the drawing for $200 off next year's subscription. So pretty pretty awesome thing you can do there. So be sure to do that. But yeah, ask any questions that you have here. Happy to answer them for you about anything at all. Alt and H, place to do that. I'm going to go into this season management into here, and just click on some events. Click on this event here. So a lot of different things we can do. I would totally recommend just adding in those names to all of them. By default, it's just going to go to a pretty standard date at place. So adding in a name here, always great. All of this is going to show up on your MyRacePass profile, which you can view right here. It's also going to show up on your website. If you get a website through MyRacePass, which can do a lot for you. You get a website through MyRacePass, everything will update as we're doing it. So you can kind of kill two birds with one stone with a lot of what we're doing here. So when we're adding in our schedule for the year to get everything ready for our races that we're going to be having in a couple weeks, that updates the website. When we put in our lineups that we're going to be doing, that updates the website. When we put in the points and pay at the end of the night, it updates the points on the website. Also puts all of that into the MyRacePass app. So the app is great as well. More reasons to be adding in more information here is that all shows up on the app. Yeah. So yep, great thing here is that every race should be special. And that's huge. Even having every event you want to keep that excitement up because it's it's very likely it's going to be someone's first race, and that's going to be their first race for them. So you want to keep that excitement going here. I've been doing a very bad job at that at my test racetrack, but we want to make sure that we keep this, when we have that here, even if it's just dollar off hot dog night, we can have that in here, update it, and then if you were to find that, maybe I'm sitting in the stands for today's event at your favorite track, and I see that there's an event tomorrow, dollar off hot dogs, awesome. So, we can having that on there, having that keeps that excitement going. Again, all that shares out. So, and be sure to tell your fans about the MyRacePass app too. It can keep track of the lineups, the results, points, and if you're using live timing, your fans can have that live timing data right from the palm of their hands. But it's free for them for the results, the lineups, the points, all that, exactly free. And again, you're going to be using it for a lot of that as well. So, be sure. Again, Alt and H, the place to ask any questions. I'm going to be answering the questions here for a little bit. In the meantime, I'll be putting in that link to the form. So be sure to fill out this form here. Very quick, just about things that I could do better. We do review those. Yeah, we got another question here, but we do review all these for that. We have a question here about using a barcode scanner for the back gate. So that's going to be right over here inside our handy race here. So we're going to go right here. We're going to have this part here, so scan barcode. So when we're entering in drivers, we can definitely use this filter, and it'll filter out all of our drivers. We can filter out by last names, numbers, but we could also use the scan barcode right up here. What that'll do, if I have a scanner hooked up to my computer, I can scan barcode. If you are a USRA or a WISSOTA track, they're actually already issuing out hard cards to their drivers as well. So they'll actually have them. They're hard cards. They're about the size of a credit card. They have a barcode on them. And you're actually able to scan them in, and it'll pull in their information. Also, if a driver would like, so we're going to check in my driver here. There he is. You see that he has a gold helmet here, right here. And what that gold helmet means is that he has claimed his profile. Claiming a profile for a driver is absolutely free. You're able to share your news, photos, videos. It'll actually update the results for this event here for him. He's been able to put in his schedule. But relevant to this discussion is that he also, on the MyRacePass app, if he logs in with that same account, he actually has a spot there for a barcode. So you can use the barcode, you could scan it right from his phone, which in a lot of ways is even better because he's going to be way less likely to lose his phone than lose a card. So you can actually do that here. If you need help or assistance with finding that card, you can actually click here up at the top, or at the bottom rather, for this help and support. That's going to take you to the knowledge base. And we have these barcode scanners for MRP cards. We click on this, we're going to have a lot of information here about what kind of scanners we recommend, things like that, and then suggested hardware. So it's going to have, like, what do we recommend? We suggest this one right here. You can see this one here, this boxy one. You could use this one as well. I have a question about if you could create your own hard cards with barcode. So right now, I know, yes. So yeah, drivers in the schedule can do that too. So right now, I would really highly recommend having your drivers claim their profile. And the reason is, right now, a driver can only have one card per person. So If you were to assign him a new card without him knowing so, it'll actually override his card. So to stop everyone kind of going over, that would be that. You can't create your own, but really, like I said, claiming a driver profile is super quick. So if I was to go to MyRacePass.com and just find a driver, I'm not going to claim him because I'm just going to pick a random name and do that. So we'll have Jack right here. I just kind of picked a guy, just my first name. You can see right down here, he has a spot to claim that driver. You can click that, enter in your information, and it's just that fast. Your phone number, and then you create an account. A question here. The best place to enter in a permanent transponder number. Awesome. So a couple different places that you can enter in a permanent transponder number. So I'll show you a few of them. So let's say Barry Bratwurst comes to me, or BJ Buffalo rather, comes to me. He says that he has bought a transponder. This is the number. I can enter in then. So if he does that right at the track, we can actually just set this as a default and save it. It copies one that I already have. Wow, that was bad luck on my part. And we could copy it and save it. I'm going to enter that in one more time. Okay, so you can see he has a default, but let's say he swapped it out and add it, and then this will update it. So next week he'll actually have that same transponder number. But if I want to go up here to manage drivers, we can actually check it. So all of the ones here, this is the one I just added right here. I also can update it in advance. So if Biff Beef Senior told me that he actually got the 1007, we can update that right there. And then that'll actually update him there too on where he needs for that. So that's kind of the couple of different places you can go to add that in. You can also change a default car number in here too. So if he wants to be the 01 here, it'll update him so that he is the 01 driver 410. So you actually see he's the 2, refreshed him, now he's the 01. And it'll keep track of all that for me as well. Halfway through the event, it switches transponders. In general, if you switch it right here, you can switch it as long as it's not a duplication of one that's already in there. You'll be fine. You can just change it up here. So if you changed to the 06, we'll save it as long as he's not duplicating a transponder that already happens, because it'll keep track of it when we send those lineups. Yep. And you can also see all the transponders that a specific driver is used. So if I click on Chuck Ground, you can see that he is not very consistent, but we can see all the different transponders he's used at my racetrack. And then it won't make it a permanent change if you change that transponder number, unless you changed it in one of the spots that I saw. So if I if I swapped it out, we'd be able to change it up here. And yeah, also those hard cards too. So another cool thing for the driver, you can actually use those hard cards at any track. So the ones that he gets from USRA or Minnesota, let's say he goes all the way out to California and races, he can actually get that card be scanned and it'll pull him in there. So a lot of the big benefits here when it comes to the MRP cards are the fact that it's going to save on a lot of time, since you only just click it, scan the card, and hit enter. So you don't have to search through here or do anything like that. It will also make sure that we have the right person, so we don't create any sort of duplicates adding in with the search, because the driver can only have one barcode per person. So you scan that in to make sure he has that right profile there. He needs good to go. We're having a lot of great questions here. Alt and H is the place to do that. Ask more questions if you'd like. Happy to answer all of those for you. About anything here. Let's pull up here. I am going to be doing this here tomorrow and the next night, so the 12th and the 13th at 5:30. Tomorrow night, I'll be going over a full race night. So if you want to see more with the entry lists, I'm going to be doing the MyLapse transponder integration. I'm also going to be doing online tickets to Dropship Apparel again, showing that off one more time. The next night was Soda Full Race Night with the schedule and classes, online tickets, Dropship Apparel. Feel free to hop in on that if you're not with Soda Track as well. It's always nice to know, and I'll be answering questions, same as I am here, about anything that you have going on. And then on the 14th, that's going to be that Thursday. We're going to be doing a lunchtime one right at 12:30. We're going to be doing season management, and again, online tickets and Dropship Apparel. So a lot of what I did right here with managing things for the season, we'll be doing that again on the 14th as well. Feel free to hop in on any of those. We'll also be announcing more, I believe, for the rest of the for the rest of the month of March. So feel free, join in, hop in on as many of those as you'd like. We are happy I'm happy to be doing these for you. And again, Alt and H, place for questions. Now is the time for those. So let me know. Especially anything here. We can go over MRP Live if you'd like. So I kind of touched on it a little bit, but essentially what MRP Live is, you can see it from this screen. I'm going to launch it from web, and it's going to get mad that I don't have transponders. Yep, Josh is letting me know. That's my boss. So he's letting me know that we are doing, we'll probably be announcing them on Thursday. The rest of the times that we're going to be doing here. But this is MRP Live. So we just need to match up some settings here. With this, we can actually take the lineups that we're going to be creating here in MyRacePass, putting that into our transponder system. Then the fans in the stands or drivers or whomever will be actually able to see that right from the MyRacePass app, right from their phones. And then when the race is done, it'll actually put all of those results back into MyRacePass so that we can make more lineups, repeat the process, or put in points at the end of the night. So a lot of cool things here done with this right here. And if you want to see more about that, we'll do a cliffhanger here. I'll be doing the MyLapse integration for that tomorrow, and then the next day with the Soda Full Night, I'll also do the transponder integration for Westhold, if you'd like to see those as well. We also, if you cannot wait, we also have help videos right here that goes over everything I've gone over here is going to be available on bite-sized chunks here, or if you want to look back at past webinars, totally can. I have actually uploaded all of those to YouTube. We can actually pull those up here, and those actually go over everything as well. So you can actually view that right here. That's going to be, again, right here in help support, help videos, and then you have the article form right here as well. A lot of different ways to do that to get help, or feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to help out with whatever you need. I'm going to leave it open for just a little bit more for questions. If you do have those, Alt and H is the place to do that. And again, I'll be posting that link here just one more time. If you do need that link's going to be for the survey. Be sure to fill that out here. Yep, only takes about 2 minutes, and one of you or one other lucky person will win $200 off next year's subscription. So that 2020 subscription there for you. So be sure to fill that out. You got it'll be right there for you. So last Friday of March. Yep. So awesome. Looks like that's it for me for today. Again, we'll be here for the rest of the week. at 5:30. Feel free to join in. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day. Really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Have a good one.